Hey guys, we're going to be talking about the return keyword today, and it's something that people like to overcomplicate, but we're not going to do that. We're going to keep it simple, so let's dive into an example. So I'm going to say I want to define a function called add nums, and it's going to take two numbers. I'll say num1 and num2, and I could have called them anything, but that's what I wanted. So I'll say print num1 plus num2. So keeping it simple, we'll say define a function called, let's call it double num. So this takes one number, so I'll just say num, and it says print that number times 2. So now let's test these to make sure we didn't mess anything up. So to test, I'm going to make two function calls. The first one will be to the function add nums, and I want to add two numbers. I'll just do 3 and 7. So running this, we get 10, just as we'd expect, so that's probably fine. So now, let's change it to our other function, double num, and this one only takes one number, so I'll say, give me double 7, and 14, just as we'd expect. So here's the problem we have and how we're going to solve it. So if I wanted to add two numbers together using add nums, and then double it using double num, I can't actually do that, because whenever add nums runs, it just prints the sum to the console. I can't actually access that number right now. So that's what we need to fix. So to start off, let's not print num1 plus num2, but make a variable called mySum and set it equal to that addition. So mySum is equal to the sum of num1 plus num2. So now, just to keep everything really clear, I'm going to print mySum, and I'm going to go back down here and put up our example we just had. Oh, okay. So now I can run this again, and I get 10 to print out just like normal. So here's where things are going to change. I'm going to change print to return. So instead of printing mySum, I'm going to return mySum. So here's the trick I'm going to teach you. When Python runs through our code and it sees that we want to return mySum, in our case, mySum is 10. It is 3 plus 7. So what happens is Python highlights all of this and writes over it with that value that we returned, this mySum, which again is holding 10. So what we want to do is we want to capture that value. So I'm going to say calcsum is equal to this function, which is adding the numbers 3 and 7. So now, let's print calcsum, and we can go back and review. And 10 prints out all the same. So again, what's happening is we are taking two numbers, 3 and 7, and we are adding them together and storing it in mySum, and then we are returning mySum. So when we return this 10, we look for add nums, and we highlight all of that, and this is what Python's doing in the background. It just sets that whole thing equal to 10. We've seen this before. Calcsum equals 10. No problem. We can print that out just fine. So if I run this, you can see 10 prints out. So before we can start calling our double num function, we need to go back and fix it, just like we fixed add nums. So I'm going to say doubled num is equal to whatever number they give me times 2, and then I want to return. There is no way I'm typing all that again. I'll copy this and try to paste it right there. Okay, so now we fixed it. So now double num says give me a number. I'm going to set double num equal to double that number, and then I'm going to return that double number. So now down here I can say dbl for double num, that's just my abbreviation. So double num is equal to the name of my function, double num, and the number I want to double is this sum I calculated. So I'll copy that. So this is 10 right now. So, okay, there we go. So when I double this, this should give me 20 and store it here. And this is what I want to print out now, not, just the base sum. So if I run this, I should see 20, and I do. This video is getting a little longer than I wanted, but I'll do a really quick run through just to make everything really clear. So in the background, what's happening is Python ignores all these functions. It doesn't really look at them until it needs to. So then it says, okay, make a variable called calcsum and set it equal to add nums. Okay, well obviously there's some function I need to find. So I found one called add nums. Things are looking good. Num1 is equal to 3, num2 is equal to 7. And then I return the addition of those two numbers. So in the background, Python says calcsum is equal to 10. So then it goes to the next line, make a variable. It's equal to this function given calcsum. Calcsum is 10, so we put that there. So I want to double this 10. So we come up to this function. Double num is equal to double the given number, so double 10. And then we return that 20. So now double num, and again in the background, is set equal to 20. And then we print double num, which is, again, why we get 20. So I hope you learned something. Have a good one.